Today we're going to talk about some simple ways to predict multi-gear shapes. Not the whole thing, but just approximately what shape you'll get. So there's two parts we're going to talk about. We're going to use the 64 as a middle gear, and we'll look at how the ring choice is more important to your shape than the inner gear choice. So let's start by looking at what the inner gears do. So if we do a 32 and an 18 down here, that goes around a bunch of times. If we use the 14, it goes around many but fewer times here. And if we use the 16, it's going to make just a oval, because 16 is a half of 32. And if it's a half, it's always going to do that. All right, so we've got these three gears. They make different numbers of petals. Now let's get some color coding in here. So green is going to be for just what the 64 does in two rings. And we'll magnet this down now. Just a few magnets here. Keep everything nice and still so we can see our different designs for comparison. Gear. There. Okay, so our 64, and just sort of in these examples I'll always be starting at the 6 o'clock because that's an easy, consistent thing to do. Okay, so on the 96, that's just going to make a three-pointed design. On the 72, that's going to make a tighter wibble, 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 wibble friend as it goes around. Now, the thing to know is when doing gear in gear designs, they get very braided looking, but your basic shape it's making is influenced by these shapes. So whatever gear I put in here to do gear in gear will give me something sort of triangular, three-lobed-ish. Let's get the 18 in there, and we'll use blue for the 18. And the 18 was one of these, and it was this first one, so that's going to be probably a denser design. But that is less guaranteed because math that we're not going over this time. I will make future videos that gets more into the math. I'm wanting to make something today that talks about just like how to get approximately the thing you're looking for, how to predict it quick and easy. So you can see with this 18, it's looking all braided in its lines, but it's still, if you know to look for it, sort of a triangular three-pointed design. Now let's see what that looks like over here in the 60, in the 72. It'll probably be a lot denser looking because we have so many more points for it to repeat on. Or perhaps we're getting something where all our prime factors canceled, interestingly, and it's not a braided design at all. This is something we will learn to look for and learn how to cancel prime factors across a couple gears to hunt down designs like this or other strange ones. Because the braided designs are beautiful, but if you pick random gears, you'll probably get something like that. If you know how to combine your gears, you can get more unique looking 3-gear system pieces. But you can see that it still has 1 point for each. Like one loop is just made them very strangely shaped. All right, now let's pick another color. What do we got? Pink. Now let's get the 16 in here. So this will give us a pretty simple design because we're not expecting a lot of braiding because the 16 was just this oval. But it'll still make it triangle-y or three-pointed because that's what our big gear and ring is giving us. So this is getting a little messy here, but I think the pink still stands out. And as always, if we change the rotation of the 16 gear, it will change the shape of that design a little bit. Now let's put this 16 in here and see what this does for our more wibbly design. It's off by a tooth. There we go. Okay, and here we go. And because it's a simple oval design, it's not doing any complicated braiding. Oh no, Lemon, you can't be standing in front. Scoot. There we go. Cat. Airlift it away. Design interrupted, but I can go back and I can reset this up because I know where the starting point was. And I will battle Lemon with my free hand, and I'll just do the design in the opposite direction until it gets to where it looks finished. Okay, now it's overlapping. So that is a cool little fix where if you haven't slipped and made a big mark, but you've just lost track of where your gear was, you can go back to the starting point and run it in the other direction until it meets up with wherever you finished. So you can see this one still has the basic geometry of the same number of petals. And because we picked a really simple design for the center one, it's not braided at all, but it's a different shape. Let's get a closer looks at those. So here's the 72. You can see the green original shape, the blue neat little butterfly shape, and the pink. And they all have the same, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. Whereas over here, we've got the 96, and we've got the green for the basic shape, the blue for the 18, and the pink for the 16. And they're all very different shapes. They're all very different designs, but you can see they all have 3 main sort of focal points, nodes, petals. And so that's the piece of prediction I want you to take home today, is you can affect the like macro structure of what your gear design symmetry is going to be by picking the right middle gear ring combination. And you can predict those using the gear and ring prediction video I made last week.